ईशावतार सर्वजनवन्द्यः धर्मरक्षकः कुरुन विग्रहो यीशैव मेरुनन्दन त्राणकर्ता जीशुकृष्णाय वै नमो नमः। Our salutation to Jesus Christ, an incarnation of God who is worshipped by all, protector of righteousness, embodiment of compassion, who is the son of Joseph and Mary and the Savior of the world. We offer our salutations to him again and again. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. This morning our subject is Christ and his followers. Today we are observing our Christmas service. Christmas is a very holy period of festivity all over the world. In the US, 43 million people will travel. And will go to visit their friends and family. They will exchange gifts. People will give food and charity to the poor and the needy. People will go for shopping and help the economy. On the 25th December, millions of people will go to the churches and pray to the Lord. People will sing Christmas carol, send cards to distant friends and relatives. Thus the Christmas service will flow in the hearts of people, from children to the old. All the festivities connected with the birth of Jesus Christ. As you know, our Vedanta tradition, we adore Christ like our other divine incarnations. When we read the history of civilization, we find religion declines. Why? Because people do not practice religion. They only talk about religion. For that reason, God incarnates to demonstrate how to practice religion in day-to-day life. This is a fact. Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Chaitanya, Ramakrishna are born. As the same moon rises again and again, similarly, the same God incarnates again and again. There are not two gods. Yesterday I was thinking about the birth of Jesus. He was born in a stable. Rama was born in palace. Krishna was born in a prison. Buddha was born in Lumbini garden. His mother was going, all of a sudden she had that liver pain and gave birth to the baby in the garden. Chaitanya was born under the Margusa tree. Ramakrishna was born in a thatched hut which is used for husking the paddy. Very poor family. Perhaps God loves to be born among the poor people who are very pure, righteous, truthful, so that he can, from the very beginning, can understand the problem of the poor and the masses. Sometimes I wonder how a person can lead a godless life. It is hard to imagine. You might have money, wife, children, car, home. You might have everything. But what is the goal? We know this world is just a temporary place. It is a holiday inn. We here only for a very short period of time. When the time comes to depart from the world, from this world, we inquire, what have I achieved? What I have given to this world? I think about it quite often. We know the body is subject to decay and death. Money cannot protect life. Human relationship is fragile. Life in this world is temporary and full of uncertainty and misery. That is the reason Avatar comes to demonstrate the path of peace and happiness. Path of peace and happiness. Yesterday I was reading our St. Louis Post-Dispatch newspaper. There is a report. Unbelief is now the world's third largest religious group. What does it mean? 84% of the world's 7 billion people adheres to some form of religion. Christians, 2.2 billion adherents, 23% people of this world. Muslims, 1.6 billion adherents. Non-believers or no religion affiliation is 1.1 billion or 16%. The next largest groups, Hindus, 1 billion or 15%. Buddhists, 500 million, 7%. Jews, 14 million, 0.2%. 4 million or 6% practice folk tradition from African, Chinese, then natural Americans or Australian Aboriginals. Additional 58 million, less than 1%, belongs to Baha'i, Jainism, Sikhism, Shintoism, Taoism, Zoroastrianism. That is the statistics about the followers of religion in the world. Sometimes I say, those who do not, the atheists, they think about God more than so-called believers. Day and night they think there is no God, there is no God, there is no God. Indirectly they are thinking about God. I remember our Swami Adi Sharananda used to make a joke. An atheist was dying, his friends came and asked, "Brother, hold on the faith, hold on the faith." The dying man said, "There is nothing to hold on." Bertrand Russell, the famous British philosopher, made some remark that why I am not a Christian. He said in olden days when St. Augustine or St. Thomas Aquinas considered themselves as Christians, they meant it. Nowadays, people say that we are Christians because we are born from Christian parents or born in a Christian country. That is the way they talk about that we are Christians. Well, I do not believe that kind of thing. Then he further said, very interesting. You know, some of the teachings of Christians means those who follow Christ's teachings and try to follow his life and pattern their lives according to Christ. That is, he meant that person is a true Christian. He said, you will remember, Jesus said, resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on the right cheek, turn to him to the other also. Then he said, this is not a new precept. it was used by Lao Tse or Buddha some 500 or 600 years before Christ. But it is not a principle which is a matter of fact Christians accept. Then he says, I believe the Prime Minister of England, Stanley Baldwin, is a devout Christian. But I should not advise you to go and smite him on one cheek. I think you might find that he thought this text was intended in a figurative sense. Well, whether you are a Christian or not, let me prove. I shall go and slap on your face, and you turn on you the other side. He did not mean it. He was telling that, how difficult it is to follow Christ literally. Then he says, Christ said, judge not, lest ye be judged. That principle I do not think ye would find was popular in the law courts of Christian countries. All judges in the Christian countries, they are devout Christians. Most of them, of course. But they judge people. So this teaching of Christ is not absolutely can be practiced by each and all who are Christians. Then he raised another question. Jesus says, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell which thou hast and give to the poor. That is very excellent maxim, but as I say, it is not much practiced. He was telling that how difficult it is to practice the teachings of Christ. It is not so easy. Jesus' life is very short, and message is also short. My South African friend told me, Swami, if you read the red-lettered Bible, only what Christ said, you will find it will take 2.5 to 3 hours. Within 2.5 to 3 hours, you can finish what Christ said. But see the impact of those little messages which we get from the New Testament. Every year we talk about Christ during our Christmas service, his life and message, which uplifts our spirits in the higher plane of consciousness. Sometimes people ask me, why should we meditate? Why should we talk about God? For 3 things. First, most people do not have control over the senses, over the mind. If you meditate, think of God, you will get mastery over your mind. You have mastery over your senses. You will be a very steady, strong human being. Second, most people are struggling for peace and happiness. Meditation brings peace and happiness. It brings the mind calm. It stops all kind of worldly desires. At that time we experience peace and joy. Third, meditation fulfills all of our good desires. Your prayers will be fulfilled. Sometimes people are very utilitarian. Before they want initiation or meditation, what shall I get? Why should I sit in the shrine? These are the answers. Why should you talk about Christ, about God, about your spiritual life? Jesus' birth was predicted in Isaiah. A virgin shall be with child and shall give birth to a son, and they shall call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. It is interesting to know that in Christianity, God used angel Gabriel to accomplish his mission. So in Hinduism, God uses Mahamaya to work for him. I was thinking, Gabriel came and first told Virgin Mary that God is very pleased with you. He wants to be born in your womb, and gave all directions, and please keep that boy's name Jesus. Then he went to Joseph and told, you will get a son, and please accept Mary as your wife. It is a kind of betrothal, this and that, and gave all details, and keep the name of your son Jesus. I was thinking, and Gabriel was working as a matchmaker, arranging marriage of these two persons, and so that there will be no fight and conflict, that you are a virgin girl, why did you give birth to a baby? He is managing everything. Same thing we find in Krishna's life. Krishna wanted to be born from Yashoda, in Devaki and his father, Vasudeva. Krishna asked the Divine Mother, Mahamaya, you go and be born in the womb of Yashoda, and whose husband was Nanda. You be born in Gokul. He arranged everything, and Mahamaya, yes, Lord, what else I shall have to do? Then, when the right time comes, we will be exchanged. I shall be transferred to Yashoda, and you will be transferred to Devaki. That way my life will be saved, and you disappear. I was just watching that, how these divine beings are using the angels and Maya in this way. Very interesting. Jesus may be born in Bethlehem 1,000 times, but nothing will happen if he is not born in our hearts. Our Hollywood choirs used to sing this song. In our hearts. Christ said again and again, the kingdom of heaven is within you. God is a spirit. Worship him in his spirit and in truth. Sometime when Swami Vivekananda said in a song of the sannyasi, where seekest thou that freedom framed this world not that can give? In books and temples, vain thy search. Thine only is the hand that holds the rope that drags thee on. Then cease lament. Let go thy hold. Sannyasin bold say Om Tat Sat Om. Where seekest thou? Where are you seeking, searching God? It is within. This is really an irony, that all the time we are carrying God within us and we do not know him. Sometimes I quote that Tagore's word. A masked deer has musk in the navel. That fragrance comes, the deer does not know the source of that fragrance. The deer runs and dies, and people go and extract the musk from the navel of the deer. Similarly, we are carrying God all the time, that blissful Lord within us, but we are searching in the temples, in the churches. Amazing. True religion begins the moment we turn our minds inward.